Okay, we're live. The case is 2023 J0534 MCS Properties LLC versus Joseph Clement.
Okay, Attorney Walsh, good morning.
Morning, Your Honor.
My name is Judge Smith. Thank you for being timely. We have not heard from Mr. Clement. So what I'm inclined to do is hear from you, and if Mr. Clement does contact us later, I would address his reasons for being late, and we would determine whether or not there was a need for further hearing. Does that make sense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. Were you the attorney before Judge, is this on video?
I was.
In her hearing below, she found the defendant indigent, although he hadn't filed an application. She heard testimony from a police officer about a firearm recovered from his apartment. Is that correct?
That is.
Can you describe to me, summarize the testimony of what the police found and the circumstances of their finding that?
I believe the police officers were there on a warrant. The
Search warrant?
Yes. They found an illegal firearm. They found a firearm. They found the ammunition as well. Then they ran a trace on the firearm, determined that it had been stolen, and that the defendant had no license.
And what was the nexus between the firearm and the defendant other than the apartment, if there was any?
The firearm was in the defendant's apartment. The defendant was the only occupant of the apartment.
Do you know where it was recovered? From the bedroom or somewhere else?
That's in the police report, Your Honor. I don't know where in the apartment the firearm was.
Do you know whether that case has been resolved criminally?
I don't. At the time, I know the case was open. At the time of our hearing. Oh, and here we go. The firearm was located along the east wall, inside of the living room, on the floor, under a futon mattress.
And your position is your client has moved to evict him for that purpose, for cause.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And you're aware he did bring complaints about the condition of the bathroom. Was that soon after you moved to evict him?
I'm not aware of the timing. Although I believe the issue was not raised until after I filed the summons process summons.
Notice, okay.
And I do know, Your Honor, that Mr. Clements did not appear at the trial. He was defaulted, but it's my understanding that under a 139-19 eviction, it is still the plaintiff's obligation to put in a prima facie case.
Correct. Well, I've asked you a series of questions. What would you like to say on behalf of your client?
Well, my client wants possession. My client, once he receives notice that there's an illegal firearm in the unit, I think has an obligation to proceed under the law and for the safety of the other tenants. I can tell you there has been no use in occupancy paid for some time, at least since the filing of the action. So, he owes a lot of money.
You're breaking up a bit. Are you saying there's been no payment for use of occupancy, or that he's not there anymore?
No, there's been no payment for use of occupancy, at least since the time this action was filed.
Okay.
The defendant didn't appear. My client put on a prima facie case. There was no defense presented at all. my client would like possession, he's gonna stop the bleeding here.
You don't contest, or do you, that he's indigent, but you do contest that whether or not he has a defense.
That's correct.
Okay. In your position, he does not have a defense, even if it were true that this were retaliatory eviction because of the nature of the nature of the action.
That's correct. It's a cause eviction, and retaliation, if it were true, wouldn't be a defense. And there were no defenses raised at trial because it was defendant defaulted.
Right. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to tell me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, again, I appreciate you being timely. I'll take this under advisement.